Hi, I'm Theron, Ramacharaka. Do you remember at the beginning of my playlist, Personal Evolution Part 3, there's a video called, as I recall, Standing Tall, a little tidbit to get started. Well, after that video, there have come many things. Many things have been discussed and practiced. So after having gone through some of that stuff yourself and practiced, implemented other things that followed, let's revisit that first video, Standing Tall, a little tidbit to get started. Let's revisit that. Take a look at it. Things to be learned from it and ways to apply it. Let's see how far we've come with just this little thing. And see how far we can go with just that little thing. Let's take a look at, I don't know, about 15 things here. Standing tall expresses tallness. Tallness is the universal thing expressed in all individual things that stand tall. I'll repeat that. Tallness is the universal thing expressed in all individual things that stand tall. Number one. That's number one. Number two. When you will to express a universality, and remember and feel that all universals are rooted in the universal, the one universal, and you remember that the expression is presented to others, for example, tallness, you can then will the expression to flow through you from the universal to and into others, and it will. I'll repeat that one. When you will to express a universality, such as tallness, and you remember and feel that all universals are rooted in the universal, and you remember that the expression of any of them is presented to others, you can then will that expression to flow through you from the universal to and into others. And it will. Number three, the power of that energy flow, let's say in that category of tallness, then comes from the universal with limitless potential. The power. Limitless potential that way. Number four, once you feel its magnitude, once you feel the magnitude of limitless potential, you can will to increase that magnitude and feel it increase. It is an increase in amount, let's say. Number five, just a little side note here, higher magnitude itself is pictured as the tallness of a sine wave. Do you know what a sine wave is? It's a waveform, standard waveform. It goes up, down, up, down. The tallness of it, of that, is its magnitude. The distance between the ups and downs, or between each peak, let's say, is its frequency. Okay, but the tallness is its magnitude. Tallness, magnitude, power. Once you feel its magnitude, you can will to increase it and feel it increase. It is an increase in amount. Higher magnitude itself is pictured as the tallness of a sine wave. Now, when you root your willing of it, your willing itself, in universal will, and will it to be for the betterment of others, let's say you combining the tallness thing with your desire for that tallness to express in others, well, you connect with limitless willpower potential in expressing tallness. You can then increase the actual willpower for it limitlessly through practice. It's a constructive way to cultivate right willpower. Number 8. While standing tall is good for health and physically appears confident, it denotes power. It's not so much your individual height that is at play, but the tallness expressed. You can put infinite power into that expression by passing it through you from the universal to others. You are then an agent of universal tallness. Number 9. Hang a picture in your mind of you as an agent of the universal, of universal tallness to others. You as an agent of it. Number 10, my note here says, learn about making a picture and hanging it in your mind. Well, you've already done that work here in the playlist, Personal Evolution Part 3. Well, now let's say that picture in your mind, okay, of you as an agent of tallness to others, an agent of the universal with respect to tallness, an agent to others, okay? Learn to select that image, to see it, mentally see it, to the exclusion of what your physical eyes see. Learn to see that mental image of you as an agent of tallness to others, an agent of the universal with respect to tallness, in the category of tallness, an agent to others. Learn to select, to see that mental image, to the exclusion of what your physical eyes are seeing, with your eyes open. And vice versa. Learn to switch back and forth, what your physical eyes see, and your mental image of you as an agent. Switch between the physical sense and the mental sense. Learn also to switch between, number 12, learn also to switch between the mental perception of what your eyes sense and the other picture you hung in your mind of you as an agent of tallness to others. One of the universal's agents of tallness to other people. Here's what I mean. With your eyes open, there's the image of what your eyes are sensing. There's also a mental image of what your eyes are sensing. You know, you can still see what your eyes are sensing if you close your eyes, and you still have a mental picture of what your eyes are seeing. So there's that mental picture as well. You know, it exactly corresponds with what your eyes are seeing. But you can keep your eyes open. Just go switch back and forth between the mental picture of what your eyes are seeing, not just like the visual thing that your eyes are seeing, but the mental picture of what your eyes are seeing, and the mental picture of you as an agent of tallness to others. I hope that makes sense. So there are 3 things there to switch back and forth between. You as the agent, the image that your eyes are seeing, and your mental picture of what your eyes are seeing. I want you to understand that you can make two different things out of that, two separate things. What your eyes are seeing, you're getting directly, like from your eyes. You're looking outside world. Then there's the picture of that in your inside world. And then there's the mental picture of you as a universal agent of tallness to others. Learn to switch back and forth among them. You can learn, number 13, learn to see the mental image of what your eyes sense with your eyes open and closed. That'll help you distinguish between those two things. So do all this switching back and forth with your eyes open and your eyes closed. Number 14, remember back to your list of motivating goals. We already did this one back then. Hang a picture of each universalized desire, motive, or goal in your mind. We did that. That's been at work already, if you're following through with everything in this playlist. Well, make your desires, your motivating goals, meet one more requirement. And you've probably already done this too. Make them meet one more requirement. That is, having no thought of individual interest, except insofar, with them, no thought of actual individual interest in your goals, all right, except insofar as they are essential qualifications for efficiency in unselfish work. So if there's a selfishness to them, it should be that. No individual interest in them except insofar as they are essential qualifications or necessities for efficiency in doing unselfish work. So you can relate that to your being an agent of tallness to others. Standing tall. This is just a little tidbit to get started. And now we've swung back to it and taken a look at everything that we're trying to squeeze everything out of it that we can possibly squeeze out and relate it to a lot of other things that followed that video here in the playlist, Personal Evolution Part 3. There's a lot there. There's a lot right here. Okay. Be well.